If a customer wants to place a call on hold, you can either go through the options and select hold, or right here. And I do apologize because I got to be looking at the phone. You have your little pause symbol. That's going to place your call on hold. Since my DID has options for 2 calls at the same time, my first call is on hold, and my other line or my other extension is available to call. If I want to resume the call, I can just hit resume. Or if I'm using my speakerphone, I'm at the speaker button, I can just click speaker for line number 2. For line number 1, just select your line. And now you can resume. Okay. If the customer wants to transfer, let's say the customer has another extension that they need to transfer the call to. There's 2 transfer, blind transfer and then normal transfer. Normal transfer is you're going to hit transfer. Once you dial the number or the extension, the call will go away from this phone and it's going to remove it from this phone and it's going to transfer the call directly to the other phone. If we hit resume, if we select transfer, the other party needs to answer before the call gets transferred. So I'm telling the other party, hey, you got a line call on line number 1. Do you want to take the call? When the other party says yes, I can then transfer the call. My call goes away from my phone and the call automatically transferred to the other extension. Accessing the. Go ahead.
Which one was it? That's a transfer or blind transfer?
So blind transfer. A blind transfer it automatically transfers the calls. You don't know, you do not notify the other party. You just transfer the call automatically to the other party. Okay. If the customer needs to check their voicemail, usually when you have a voicemail, your extension is going to have a little voicemail symbol. The customer can access that directly from their phone by pressing the voicemail button. The default PIN, it's COXCOM. 29. I forgot the PIN already. I always forget that one. Is it so COXCOM? So 269266. And that's for everybody. 269266 pound. Then the customer will be notified to actually set up their own PIN and set up their voicemail. Now, to access their voicemail, they're just gonna have to enter the PIN that they set up or the greeting. But all phones for the first time 269, 266, it's the default PIN. If I'm a customer and my call flow says that I have multiple lines and I have extensions, if my extension to my other phones are 104, 105, I don't need to enter a default number for that phone. All I need to enter is the extension. As you can see, it says my extension 105 is from my Polycom 411. I can call it, and the call automatically calls that other party or that other phone. You can transfer by just the extension, or you can enter the full number of the phone you wish to transfer the calls. Something else that you might be asked by the customer as far as using the phone is, how do I change my ringtone? Sometimes customers can have multiple phone lines and they want to be able to differentiate between what phone number they're calling in if they have like share call appearance, meaning I have multiple lines in here that I'm able to receive calls. So you can change, you go to your settings and under your user preferences, ringtone, here you have different ringtones for the different extensions. And when I say extension, I mean for the different buttons. Any button that is lit up, that means there's something configured on that port. If there's nothing lit up, that means there's no configuration on those ports. All that is done by the station review order management. When they build the account and they build the call flow, they set up each button how the customer wants the phones to be set up. So we do some customer education, how to use the phone, how to receive a call, how to make a call, how to transfer. That's a standard customer education that the technician will perform. Once the install is complete, a IPC coordinator is going to reach to the customer and they're going to go through training. Now they're going to walk the customer how to use my account, how to manage their call flow, how to make changes through the account, through my account. That's the training that they receive. A lot of that training is done virtually also. From my experience, it's done typically 3 to 5 days after the install. If it's our small installs, larger installs where you have high number of seats and or a complex call flow, and if the customer requests, the customer training is done on the same day of the install. You might have a IPC coordinator go on site or reach to the customer remotely to do the customer training. Okay. Questions, comments you guys have? Want to pause here, see anything else that you guys might have about doing customer education?
I'm saying the subject slightly.
What was that?
If you factory reset that phone, who has
Yes.
to reprogram?
So if the phone gets factory reset, the Cisco MPP, the Polycoms 400, 300, and 500 series, we have what we call zero touch provisioning. The phone would automatically download its configuration after a factory reset. You don't even have to do you don't have to program it again. It would automatically load its configuration.
That's all of them, or the 8841 or 8850?
Right now, the models are the Cisco MPPs and the Polycom should have been already transferred that they can do zero touch provisioning. So the ones that do not support that, that will be the old Cisco, the Cisco APA do not do that. Now that's a different process once a phone is factory reset, and you will need a username and password, which can be retrieved from my account. And all you need to enter is the user ID and the password, and the phone would load its configuration based on what it has in my account. Okay. Any other question? When we come back from lunch, I can show you some of those things in my account. You guys can actually see that. But definitely let me know what kind of questions you have so we can go over those. Okay. Stop sharing. There you go. Okay, Christian, Walter, Jermaine, Dustin, any question? No questions? Okay. So it's 12:30. Let's do this. Let's take an hour lunch. Let's be back at 1:35. When we come back, we're going to go over switches and additional information on the phones.
They have 8 times. None of them do it.